Hi, I'm Scott Simon of NPR. There are a few qualities that any story should have, whether you're reporting a war halfway around the world or a couple of feet of snow in Green Bay, and I've done a little of both. A story ought to have a point. I don't mean a lesson or a moral or even a punchline, but a point, something people can take away from it. Well, it snowed. Who died? What shoes were they wearing when they got swept away in the rainstorm? What did it look like in the bombing, the thunderstorm, or the children's birthday party? Give people telling, vivid details that they can recall when they tell the story to others. Sometimes just a single phrase will do it. Give them something to repeat to others. Now, beginnings are important. If a beginning doesn't capture somebody's interest, they're going to turn the page or the dial, find something else, or even worse, forget. You can tell a story that has vivid analysis, breathtaking detail, and if nobody's listening, why are you talking? Now, Winston Churchill had a great beginning when he spoke to Parliament just after the fall of France in 1940. He didn't begin by saying, after 6 weeks of combat, we lost X number of planes, X number of tanks, although he got to that. He began by looking straight at them and saying, the news from France is very bad. Now, how could you not pay attention after a beginning like that? A story has to be told in short, breathable sections, no matter how long it is. It can be a 20-second news story or it can be Don Quixote. I've begun to think of stories as kind of a swim, whether you're heading across an outdoor pool or you're trying to swim the English Channel. A story has to breathe. You have to breathe with it. So does the audience. When you break down a story and tell it in breaths, you create a rhythm. People can go along with a rhythm. Now, we have a couple of points that are specific to audio and video. Avoid dependent clauses. Don't put in some of these mind-numbing, tongue-twisting titles. Don't begin by saying, in response to congressional pressure, the Illinois Democrat President Barack Obama said, no, just begin by saying President Barack Obama. Speak conversationally. For example, you'd never say actor, activist, humanitarian, father of 6, Brad Pitt. By the way, by the time you see this, it might be up to 7 or 8. But no, you would say Brad Pitt. If you need to explain who somebody is, do it in the phrase that follows. You'd never say Cambridge scientist and mathematician Stephen Hawking. You'd probably say Stephen Hawking. And if you had to explain who he was, then you'd go, the Cambridge mathematician or scientist. Be conversational. Talk to an audience the way you would talk to somebody across a table. These days there are all kinds of new technologies that are out there, including this one, that will help you not only tell a story, but find stories, communicate with other people, verify stories, and nail them down. My advice, use them. Don't be scared of them. Use them to talk to people. Use them to discover things. And absolutely, finally, have fun. Because if you have fun discovering a story, if you make surprising discoveries in the course of telling a story, that's going to communicate no matter how you're telling the story. And the fun and the spirit that you bring to that is something that will keep the audience coming back.